Yeah. This is Tactical Red, and you're on Tactical United, and we're looking to get Sancho. I'm not getting excited though. I've tried to not talk about transfers because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the speculation. I'm sick of transfer speculation. Do you know what I'm saying? I've tried to keep it off that, but apparently it's an official bid put in by Manchester United for Sancho for £91 million, which is laughable. It's laughable. We're also going to discuss about what Ollie said in his press conference and, how Ollie is generally. Pogba, few other things, But with the Sancho bid, the way I see looking at Sancho coming on, obviously, Sancho being a right winger / left winger because he can play both. Obviously, we need someone like that, Yeah, it does mean Greenwood will get benched, and because that's what Ollie would do because he's not a man. But Sancho's a high-level quality player. But Greenwood will come through regardless. Like, Rashford ain't stopping Greenwood coming through because once Ollie's gone, Rashford ain't there, believe. He's not favourite. Like, a real manager, a true manager will see the talent in Greenwood and be like, yeah, that's what we need. But when Sancho comes in, if he comes in, because to me, I'm still 0%. But I have to talk about a bid because if a bid's been made, then it's been made, and I have to discuss that. It's an official bid. Like everything else has been speculation before. Everything has been speculation. There's not been anything official, but it's been rejected off the bat. And they're only going to take 108. Like, we know this already. Like, us Man United fans who know, we know this is only 108 anyway. So we're just going to say to ourselves, why are they wasting time? Why are they playing games? Why haven't they made the £108 million bid? Because that's what serious clubs do. They make bids that clubs want. And they don't try to haggle. Haggling, especially at this time, transfer window, is just stupid. And honestly speaking, do I even believe that we really made a bid? I don't. I actually don't believe that we made a bid. I think we haven't made a bid. I think if we have made a bid, we made a bid in the 7th. The 7th of, what is it, August. I think that's when they're talking about the bid being rejected. They haven't specified any specific date. This is just stir. This is just to get us gassed. This is just to make us think that something's happening. But it's not. It's not happening. And I'm trying to be like optimistic. But if my heart tells me that it's not happening and they're just trying to spin things to make things seem like something's happening. But they're going to be like, we tried, but we couldn't match that price tag. It was too much in these times. That's what's going to happen. But these times, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, they're spending. They're spending money. Like, these teams are spending money. What was that? These teams are spending money. So, why are we not spending money? Why are we not spending money? Because we're stunting. Because the Glazers want their dividends. That's why we're not spending money. I can talk about Sancho all day, but the Glazers are the ones who are not spending the money. Like, let's be honest. They don't want to spend those millions on a high-level, young, English, can improve, can be anything he really wants to be. Can step up. Like, get out of Dortmund. Yeah, get out of that, easy life. Get out of comfort zone. Because Dortmund's a comfort zone for young players. That's what it is. It's a comfort zone that, you're going to play good football. You're going to be, part of a, successful team that don't really win anything, but, get second or third and bottle but winning the league and get to like a quarterfinals. You're gonna be part of that, but you're not really gonna be feeling it. And they could be the same in Man United. We're probably that now. We're probably like Dortmund now. Like, people see us and see Dortmund similar. We're still bigger, but what we are as a footballing team, us and Dortmund are levels as a footballing team, not as a brand or as a history or has legacy. No, but as a footballing team, we're the same as Dortmund. So what are we trying to do? Are we trying to be Real Madrid, Barcelona? We're trying to be Man United. What are we trying to be? I don't know. I don't know what we're trying to be, but under the Glazers, I know that we're not trying to be the best team in the world. That's what I do know. I definitely know that, but there is a part to blame on Ollie and the management. We've had 4 poor managers. Like, there is no doubt about it. People talk about Woodward and Glazers and this and that, but we've had 4 poor crap managers. We've had that. We haven't had a good manager since Fergie, and that's official. Like, you can say things like, oh yeah, well, Mourinho, he was this, but he won the League Cup, and he crawled to the Europa League. We played nobody hard. Even the final was easy. That was just complete, just in the favour. Like, it was just his last hurrah. He hasn't won nothing since then. And I don't think he's going to win anything. I don't think he's going to win another trophy, Mourinho. That's just my opinion. I don't see him winning another trophy. I think even the Europa, them men will get knocked out. They will get knocked out. But Chelsea's slipping up too. Chelsea, they are slipping up badly. Like, the way I look at Chelsea now, like, I'm looking at Chelsea and I'm looking at Lampard, thinking to myself, what's wrong with him? For me, Lampard is just like, he's not the same as Ollie. People comparing Lampard and Ollie the same. It's not the same. The thing about Lampard is that he's not a leader. Like, he's not a leader. So the players aren't going 100% for him. Because he's not a leader. Because they don't feel like they need to. They still feel like they do what they want. There's no reprimand. There's no consequences for bad performances. I mean, the fact that Kepa's still there is a major, major issue. Like, that's just a major issue. And I know they haven't had no one to replace him, but you can't play certain people. Like, you just got to keep them on the bench and then sell them. Like, it's weak management. I think there's too much rotation in what he's doing. I think he's not a leader. I just think he's not a leader. It's just my opinion. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. But neither is Ollie. But then on top of that, Ollie has got no coaching skills whatsoever. Like, the way the team play, no. And Ollie's got no in-game tactics. Lampard hasn't really either, to be honest. I think the only thing Ollie does have over at Lampard is because he's a little bit more experienced. Well, he's a lot more experienced. He's got 10 years on Lampard. Around 9 years on Lampard as a coach. So he's got experience. That's all he has. He just has experience. Nothing more. But, as we'll see. We'll see what Ollie can really do this season. This season, for me, is obviously going to be his last, because he's going to get the chop. Because even if we do get Sancho, because we have to. I mean, what are we saying about his expenditure? If he spends 100 plus on Sancho, that means he would have spent around 360 odd million. That's a lot of money in 2 seasons. Now, if Pep spent 365 million, I think he'll be expected to win the Premier League. So if he does buy Sancho, why are we not expecting him to win the Premier League? Why are we giving him, leeway? And some Man United fans, not all of them, but some Man United fans are giving this guy leeway. Like he's allowed. He's oh yeah, they're listening to that gas about, oh yeah, it's long term. Like, what is long term? In 2 years, Klopp came in Liverpool, what was it? 1990, I mean 2016, and then in 2018 they're in the Champions League final 2 years later. Like, you can't tell me that's not the standards that we set. Wenger was at Arsenal 95 or 96, and 98 they won the league. Like, it's not like this myth. There's a myth going on in football that it takes 3, 4, 5 years. It takes 5 years. It took 5 years for Fergie because back in those days, you couldn't really make a team good that quickly because the money and the connections and the football wasn't as international as it is now, where you can buy anyone and make a team better. Like, this is, and Premier League is way more attractive than the Premier League now is way more attractive than when Fergie started managing Man United. It's not even, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. So, we're talking about so many differences that you can make the Premier League, get your team quickly. You've got the right people at the club doing the scouting, doing the negotiating, doing the head of recruitment, doing the sporting director, right coach, manager, right fitness team, doctors, medical staff, physios, right owners. Like, I think even without the right owners, because owners, you just make the owner happy. That's all they care about, making them happy. Because any owner just wants what do owners want? They want their targets met. Like, and Glazer's targets isn't on the pitch, so they got targets off the pitch. If you do that, you can do what the fuck you want with the team. Like, they will give you that leeway as long as you keep hitting their targets. Maybe giving them a little bit extra change on top of that. But, that's what Ed Woodward needs to do. Like, but he still does that, but he doesn't produce, the right manager. He doesn't select, he doesn't have a sporting director to so we don't, every time we change manager, we don't change everything. Like, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have, a sporting director who can see what talent really is and really not, and explain that to him and say, look, this manager is not playing the football that Man United need and required to win the league and be successful as a football team. He's not, and he's proven that. And I can find another manager that can do both. That's the type of sporting director that we need. Someone who's on it. But Ollie's not on it. He's doing the transfers. He's doing it all. He's trying to do it all, man. He's trying to be like how Fergie was, but it's ridiculous. He's living in the past. He's living in the past. He's living back in the day. Back in the day. This is where he's living. Back in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? So, we need to, move forward and just think about, how we're gonna progress. And Ollie's not the one to progress, but you know what? Jadon Sancho will be a very good signing. If we get Tellers too. Well, that would, a window out of 10, that's a 7.5. No, fuck that. That's an 8 out of 10 window. That's an 8 out of 10 window. 8, yeah. If we with Van der Beek, Sancho, and Tellers. The reason why, I still don't rate Ollie, but once a new manager comes in, okay, Tellers is 27, turning 28 in December, but he's still got 2 years, 3 years at least. You can win something with him. You can win something with him. Definitely. Like, he's a very good creative player that we have, like, the ability to put the ball in the across into the box is so lacking at Man United. We need variation in our attack. You can't just do the same thing all the time. You can't just try to trick your way through, or a perfect through ball, or one touch, or counter. Like, we need to score goals through like real creativity and real, like, if you have Pogba and Bruno there, they can't always feed in balls and chip in balls. You can't always, you can't always do that. You can't always score like that. It's not all the time. you need also that width to provide you with a different angle of attack. And with the way we attack, with no width, because Luke Shaw does provide a slight width on the left, but what happens is Wan-Bissaka gets the ball, passes to Greenwood. Greenwood tries to do a little thing, but because Wan-Bissaka's not good at the overlap, it doesn't run. So therefore, he never overlaps. So it's always staying back because he's a defensive right back. He's not an attacking right back. So that is a major issue with the width on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, Shaw does get forward, but he doesn't get forward with any sort of confidence. He doesn't get forward with any sort of intent. And when he does show intent, he thinks doing it once or twice in a game is enough to suffice as a good performance of attack. I mean, he might do a run here and there, but I think it just needs to be more regular. I think everything that he does, and this is a little bit down to the coaching, because it's not all his fault. Like, even all the players, it's not their fault why they're not producing the good as well as they could. It's not just them, it's the coaching too. Mainly the coaching, in my opinion. Like, the players do bear some responsibility, of course, but it's mainly the coaching. It's mainly the coaching. And Luke Shaw doesn't bump forward enough. Luke Shaw doesn't cross enough. The run, Martial doesn't get in the box enough. Martial's not hungry to score enough. Martial isn't sure if he wants to be, like, Martial seems like he's coming into the season with a different mindset. That's how I see it. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Martial like, I'm like, okay, Martial, you had one decent season. Like, what are you, Mr. Like, you know, who are you really? Are you Aguero or are you Aguero? Or are you like someone like, I won't even say Ings, because Ings is but are you Ings? Are you Aguero or are you Ings? Like, you have to keep it real. Are you Aguero, like, who's going to be consistent season out, season in? Yeah, you get injuries, but when he plays, he scores and he does well and he looks really good on the pitch. Or you're going to be Danny Ings, who looks good, does a few bits, but then goes missing, and does a few more bits and then goes missing. Like, no one knows. Like, we need to see. This is the first time you're number 9. So we really, 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 really need to see that. Anyway, I am thinking that we're not going to get Sancho. But I'm hoping, thinking, but I doubt it. I just want him. I just really want him at the football club. I really want to see him in our club. I want to see the level of quality again go up from, like, yeah, Bruno, yeah, there's criticism of Bruno, but something went up when Bruno came. And I'm not saying it's like some bounce, some Bruno bounce, new player bounce, new manager bounce, because it might be a new manager bounce, new player bounce thing, but I see if Sancho comes in, then you got Bruno, Sancho, Pogba. I mean, it's inconsistent, but Rashford is okay, but you got Martial, Greenwood. You know, if these players, they produce the goods, which they can do, but I'm not confident anymore. I've seen, like, I'm not that confident. I'm not that confident, and I don't think maybe because this coaching that I'm watching is making the players worse, or I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, it's crazy because the thing is, if it was just the players, then I'd be like, yeah, but Bruno Fernandes was consistent. You could see when he came, he looked like, you know, he had a plan and he was focused, and now he just doesn't look like the same player that we first got. That to me could be like, okay, the coaching, because that could be affecting Martial, Rashford, all of them. If I seen it from a player comes and goes, like, look at Dan James. Dan James, when he first came, he was doing little bits. Like, he wasn't doing bits. He was doing little bits and bobs. But as soon as Ollie has had him for like 2, 3, 4 months, you can see, like, he's not doing nothing. Because Ollie played him out of position. He was just, Even Maguire, look at Maguire. Look at Maguire. Maguire, when he came to Man United, like before even when he was at Leicester, he was definitely better than this. Like he wasn't this bad. He wasn't great, but he wasn't this bad. Like people was like 80 million is too much. People was saying 80 million was too much. Like let's be honest, everyone was saying that. But people were saying he's 60. Now people are saying he's 40. Like your value dropped 20 mil after a season of playing with Man United. That says the coaching. It has to be. It has to be. Wan-Bissaka. I think now what's happened to Wan-Bissaka is this. Like, all jokes aside, I think Wan-Bissaka's got the Ollie's coaching and he hasn't developed him. Because, you know, when he first came, he was tackling better. He was more confident in what he had to do. He was better on the pitch. I mean, he was never great on the ball, but he's better than what he was doing now. He's better defensively and I don't know about offensively, but he's definitely better defensively than he is now. He's better then than he is now. Definitely. And that's, again, coaching. What can I say? What can I say that I haven't said 100 times? Ollie's not that. Ollie isn't. There's so much evidence of it, but not everyone's going to think like that. And I get it, but I don't really get it. Because your eyes can't lie to your brain. Like, what you're seeing is what's happening. Is poor football. So, that's down to the coaching. I don't have anything left to say about that. It's just, let's just hope Sancho comes. So, and Tellers as well, because we need another left back. Because Luke Shaw is just, he's okay, but I think he would be a lot better at centre back. I do. I think Luke at Tierney, he's centre back. I know he's left centre back, but he still was there. I think with the pace and Luke Shaw's defensive skills, and he's very big in it, so he's strong on the ball, and he's quick. And he reads danger. He's got the makings to be a very good defender. He has. He could be like a David Alaba. This is how people are playing nowadays, you know. Because when you have a left-sided centre back that can come out with the ball like a boss, and Luke Shaw could come out with the ball, like he could. There's no doubt Luke Shaw would be able, because his passing completion is very good from that left-hand side. It's very good from that left-hand side. So he can pass. So, you know, him coming out with the ball passing, I'm not sure about the long passing, but he could get that in his game. Like, diagonals to Sancho on the right. Do you know what I'm saying? It could be like that. Wan-Bissaka overlapping, but this comes with training. That all comes when you get trained correctly. I've rapided on for 5 minutes now. I mean, oh man, it's obviously something was on my chest, but I just want Sancho there. I want Sancho and Telles there. I want both of them there. I want both. I don't want just Sancho. I want both. But I think we'll be lucky to get one. And that's the truth. I don't trust the board. Matt Judge and them, man. Matt Judge is just who is that? How is he? What credentials does he have to be doing that job? I think me and him have the same level of credentials to do that job. That's how sloppy it is. It's just some random guy just knows nothing about football. You know, just all he knows about is how to make sure that Glazers get paid and he gets paid too. That's all he knows. That's all he's trying to do. All he's trying to do is get paid because he's a banker. And we all know we don't trust bankers, do we?